In this video, I'm going to show you how I play I Love It Loud by Kiss. So if you like this video, give me a like and subscribe to see more. Okay, there's about 6 parts. Here's the first part. And all that is it's a B bar chord, where I got my pointer finger over all the strings of the 2nd fret except for the low E, and I got my ring finger on the 4th fret of the D and my pinky on the 4th fret of the G. And I'm going to strum that 4 times, downstroking. 1, 2. Then I'm going to simply take off my pointer finger and pick that 4 times. Now what the bass does, I don't know if the guitar is actually doing this, but it sounds kind of good. Once you pick that 4 times, it goes. Okay, what I'm doing there is I use my middle finger and I'm picking down on the 2nd fret of the D string, and then I'm going to pull off to an open D. So, and again, I'm not sure if the guitar is actually doing this or if it's just the bass, but I think it sounds pretty good. And the second time he goes through, he does the same thing, except he starts with the open D, and he hammers on to the 2nd fret of the D string. I'm not saying he does this, but that's what I'm doing. So it slowly is. And if you don't want to do that part, more than likely, I don't think they do that part, and it would sound fine if you just go. Okay, so then the second part is, so I use my pointer finger to hit the 5th fret of the D string, and I got my ring finger on the 7th fret of the G string, and I'm hitting just the D and the G strings. And then I move that whole shape down where my pointer finger's on the 5th fret of the A and my ring finger's on the 7th fret of the D. And then I move the whole thing down again where my pointer finger's on the 5th fret of the E, of the low E, and my ring finger's on the 7th fret of the A. You hit that second one twice. Okay, so. And he hangs on there for about 4 beats. And he goes back in. So then he reruns through that again. So then you get to the third part, which is the chorus. That's actually 2 parts. That's the 3rd and 4th part. So the chorus, though, is you're basically doing the same chord that I showed you. And then what I do is I just go to an open A bar chord. So so you do the first chord, then I take my pointer finger, put it over the 2nd fret of the D string, and then just hit the open A and the D string together. You hit the first chord twice there. And then you go quickly to the A. So you go to B to A. And then I put my pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the A and just do an open E there. E chord. And then hit the E twice. And then you go back to the 2nd chord, which was the open A and the 2nd fret of the D being pressed down. Then you go back to the 1st chord. When he goes back to the B, he does some kind of rhythm there. So the first time he just goes. And so he does the same repeat. Then he goes back to the A twice though. So all the chords I just showed you, you just have to figure out the timing of it. And again, this is my what I heard. It's hard to hear exactly what he's doing, but this is what I heard. Repeats. And then it goes in the next part, which is just a G bar chord. Your pointer finger's on the 3rd fret of the E, your ring finger's on the 5th fret of the A. Then you take the next one, go into a D, which is you take your pointer finger, put it on the 5th fret of the A, and your ring finger on the 7th fret of the D, and then back to that open E chord. Your pointer finger's pressing down the 2nd fret of the A, and you're picking the open E. That whole, those two parts are. So that part. And it hangs out there for a while. All right, so then it goes back into the verse, back into the chorus, and then it goes into the next part, which is. And all that is I'm using my ring finger, I'm using my middle finger to bend down on the 3rd fret of the E. And then I'm just hitting the open A, and then my pointer finger's on the 2nd fret of the D. And then I'm going to that D chord again, which is my pointer finger on the 5th fret of the A and the 7th fret of the D. And I'm actually using my pinky as well on the 7th fret of the G. I like doing those kind of chords rather than the bar chords. One, two, three. And it doesn't let it go too long. And it stops it. I stop it with my hand. Then 1, 2, 3, down, up, down. And then it goes back to it goes to a C. It takes that whole shape and goes to the C chord, which is the same shape as going down 2 frets. And it goes back up to the second one. Goes down 2 frets, back up to the 2 frets, and then it ends back on the A string. Passes. Okay, so then it goes in the last part I'm going to show you, which is the guitar solo. And all that is, so I got my ring finger on the 9th fret of the G string, and I got my pointer finger on the 7th fret of the B string. I'm going to bend that G string while holding the B string in place, because that gives it that sound. And then he just takes that whole thing and slides it up for 2 frets, and then slides it up 1 fret, and slides it down 1 fret, back down to the 1st fret. Then he just goes down 2 frets each. And then he kind of ends it there. So it's kind of the whole thing is. Or something very similar to that. I might be off a fret there or two, but that's pretty much it. Okay, and that is it. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give me a like and subscribe to see more.